Ruslan.
All right, recently, Jared Leto, who's playing the Joker, apparently in the new Justice League movie, came out in an image more or less mocking Jesus, right? And this been talked about a little bit. Jared Leto's Joker does a Jesus Christ pose in his new image from Zack Snyder's Justice League after replacement Helmer, DC's highly animated, right? And now set for release on HBO Max, March 18th, Snyder Justice League promises to be a very different experience than the theatrical version of the film, and a big reason for this is somewhat surprising addition of Leto take on classic Batman villain, the Joker. So here's my initial thoughts on this. I see this kind of stuff and I go, okay, I don't like it. I don't like it because I'll tell you why. And it's not that deep. I'll tell you why I don't like it, and then I'll tell you why I don't expect much. I don't like it because it seems like it's free season to say and do whatever you want about Jesus, and it's all good, right? It's all good. Like there's no consequences for any of this stuff. Now, somehow, if you look at other faiths like, I don't know, Islam, you can't even make a cartoon, a drawing, any type of depiction of their prophet. But for whatever reason, within the context of Christianity, it's like all free reigns on Jesus. You can say whatever you want, you could do whatever you want, and it's very flippant, and I don't like it, and I think there's double standards. And by the way, I discovered that Islam is actually a protected class in like social media space. Like you can't say certain things critiquing it. You like, if you do something that upsets that demographic of people, they get upset, and they're like a protected class, right? Like other classes. You guys can fill in the blank on what I'm alluding to. So with that, that to me is trash, and it makes me say, hey, why aren't we getting the same treatment from Netflix? Why aren't we getting the same treatment from, you know, whoever? I don't know if this is Justice League, right? Why is it always open season, always all good to come at Christians? And maybe there's something to us, I don't know, figuring out how Christians can be a protected class, and the fact that, hey, this is not cool, this upsets us. What does that look like, right? What does that look like? How do we get some type of like sensitivity to our feelings, right? So that's that. Okay. Now, in terms of scripturally, when I saw this, I saw my buddy Alex Dion Wilson do a video of it. He talked about the passage where Jesus said, you know, they hate you because they hated me, and that's so forth. And I think everything he said was solid, and you guys should go check out Alex's channel. I love Alex. I know Alex personally. I consider Alex a friend. Here's where my brain went. This is not to like contradict whatever he said. His video is fine. Ephesians chapter 2, one of the dopest passages in scripture. Ephesians chapter 2, it says, "And you were dead in your trespasses and sins, in which you once walked, following the course of this world, following the prince of the air, the spirit that is now at work in the sons of disobedience, among whom all once lived in the passions of our flesh, carrying out the desires of the body and the mind, and were by nature," scary word, "and by nature, children of wrath, like the rest of mankind." Okay, bad news. So why do I say this? Okay, so I don't expect spiritually dead people to act like they have sense about spiritual truth. That's where I'm at. I don't expect them to not make a mess of these things. And I've more or less held this position for years, because people get offended about a rapper who says this, and it's like, listen, folks are, I don't expect blind people to walk perfectly, nor do I get offended if a blind person bumps into me because they're blind, right? Spiritually dead people are spiritually blind. They don't know what they're doing. They think it's cool. They think it's edgy. They think like, you know, look at this cool pose. And it's like, yeah, you know, Jesus, he's super iconic. Yeah, it's art, right? And I just have very, very, very low expectations for spiritually dead people. I just do. And I think there's a degree where we maybe need to be a bit more gracious, but firm in our convictions. Maybe we need to, hey, let me educate you why this is not appropriate, and how this is a double standard, and how if you took some other icon and you dressed up like Gandhi or you dressed up like Muhammad, it wouldn't be okay. And by the way, like, there's a lot of us out here, fam. Like, do you want me not to check out your movie because I'm offended? I'm not watching this trash. Like, you've already lost me as a consumer, right? So I think there's a degree, and I don't know how, but I think there's a degree to say, maybe we shouldn't be offended. However, they're spiritually dead. Maybe we should build bridges and figure out a way to educate them, or just take our money somewhere else. And I'll give you an example. I reacted to a Vlad TV interview with Adam 22. You guys could go watch this. And Adam 22 was flippantly talking about religion, flippantly talking about Jesus in context of Kanye coming to the faith. I'm pretty sure it was Kanye. And I did a reaction video, and I had been friendly with Vlad TV over DM, very brief. And he's a former Soviet, and I shot him the video, and he tried to file a copyright strike against me and told me I was gonna get a copyright strike. He was gonna get the video taken down. Now, of course, the video didn't get taken down. He did tap into the monetization, and then I did another reaction video, kind of telling the whole backstory and just how both of those guys are bozos, in my opinion. So guess what? I used to watch Vlad TV interviews. And since that day, I have not watched another Vlad TV interview. I have not watched another No Jumper podcast. I have never clicked any of that stuff. I've unsubscribed from all their channels. When their stuff comes up in my recommended feed, I right click and hit not interested, right? And I've said this publicly. And so they've lost me as a viewer. They've lost me as a supporter, and that's foolish, because at some point you are going to want to have as many people around your product, even if it's a secular product. I'll give you guys an example. There's a content creator named Hello Yasin. I watch his channel regularly. He's super dope. He's inspired me a lot. He does these kind of like essay videos where he doesn't show his face and just kind of gives commentary on different hip hop and social events. And he did 2 videos recently, one talking about Kanye and the whole divorce situation, and he was very delicate about it and actually very affirming of Kanye's faith and him coming to Jesus. And then he did another video, I forgot who it was about, NBA, one of those, any NLE Chopper, one of those guys. He did a video about that and then tied it into No Malice, and how, this artist is now going woke, but it's not working. And he talked about how No Malice, his art changed, but he didn't really care. And he talked very graciously. Now, I knew this dude is not necessarily a follower of Jesus, but I reached out to him, and I was just DMing with him, and I asked him what his spiritual beliefs were, and he kept me as a listener. Imagine had he just pooped on Kanye's faith. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I would have shot him a DM and corrected him, but I'm out, right? And we go back and forth on DM as well. But you see the juxtaposition of those two perspectives. One person is aware that, hey, it's tough to be a Christian in this climate. Let me not just be flippant with how I speak about folks' faith. And the other folks, Vlad TV and Adam 22, just kind of say and do whatever they want. My opinion is that's not going to last. Not what they're saying, because there's always going to be ears that want to hear anti-God stuff, anti-Christian stuff, right? But that attitude and that arrogance and that pride is not going to last. And Vlad already took a massive L for what? Speaking flippantly about another religious leader. And a lot of his biggest personalities stepped away. I know you guys are probably like, Ruslan, you're really deep into like some of this, hip hop vlogging stuff. I was. You got these brothers who speak flippantly. And like you said, Anthony Miller, Dame Dash went off on Adam 22 when he bashed Kanye. Lord Jamal went off on Vlad for speaking ill of Farrakhan. And this is how these things work. Right? This is how these things work. And so as a consumer, hear me loud and clear. As a consumer, you have a voice. You may not have a verified check mark on Instagram. By the way, you should go follow your boy on Instagram. You may not have a verified check mark on Instagram. You may not have the platform I have, but you do have a voice. And they do see those tweets. So if you, like me, if you're offended by this, tweet this dude. Tweet the director, all of their names is here. Tag them and stuff on Instagram. Tell them that you're not okay with this, and if this stuff persists, that they will continue, and they've lost you as a viewer, and they'll continue losing you as a viewer. Like, stand up for yourself and speak up, right? So again, we got to have this grace where like they're spiritually dead, they're spiritually blind, they're going to walk into us. We shouldn't expect much from the world. However, we are in a capitalistic free market economy, and we Christians are one of the biggest constituencies ever. This is why the Republican Party markets so hard to churches, right? So if the Republican parties have figured it out, but Hollywood hasn't, guess what? Don't watch these films. Guess what? Make a fuss about it. Guess what? Go on social media and share that you're outraged, that it's not cool. Tag all these people in it. Send them an email. Send them a direct message on Instagram, right? And if you get, how many Christians you think there are? 300 million people in America, 350 million people in America. They say that the attendance of church, let's look it up. Pew Research Center reported that 37% of all Americans attended church on a weekly basis. I think that's a bit high. Let's just cut that number in half. So the Pew Research says 37%. Let's just call it 15%. 15% of all Americans attend church on a weekly basis. Okay, 15%. So 10% of 350 million is 35 million. 35, I'm just doing quick math. 35 million, half of 35 million is, what is half of 35? 18. 35 plus 18, we're at 52 million. So let's just say 50 million, just be conservative. If 50 million people wrote these guys an email, a tweet, a DM, right? And these are conservative numbers, right? Do you think that maybe, just maybe not, I could be totally wrong about this, but do you think they would tread a bit more lightly in terms of how flippant they are with the way they talk about Jesus? Do you think that it may change some things with Netflix, portraying Jesus as a LGBTQ male? Do you think some of that stuff would change if we actually not just voted with our eyes and our wallets, but actually like said something about it? I don't know. So those are my thoughts on it. Hopefully this is helpful. Let me know what you guys think.
Kingstream Entertainment. Ruslan.
Joshua the king came down and bore it all. Yeah. Conversations front of the fireplace. All of my mistakes out of I erase. Wanna operate at a higher pace. Birth pains causing the body to dilate on a first name basis with the